10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the ESL One Manila Filipino qualifiers. We're going to be taking a look here at a match between TNC facing off against Execration, and this one is sure to be fabulous. It's going to be game number 2. As I mentioned, TNC took it in pretty convincing fashion. You know, I got to ask Ryu, we're looking at this squad, and it's like, they first picked a Drow. They went for, or not first pick, but they first picked a Venge Drow combo. And if you start a draft off like that, is there any way that you can just like get away with actually banning those out? They ban out the Venge. I don't know. It feels like that's such a strong opening from them that like I don't even know what to say at the end of that game.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Lion.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that, you know, that really has to be what they think about at this stage. And I guess, as you mentioned, the aggressive tri-lane, it can work. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. It can work to try and mess with an Enchantress or a Chen by picking the Bounty Hunter. But then if they do go that sort of aggro, super aggro lane that we saw, or that you were talking about, then you run into a situation where, like, now a Bounty Hunter and lane can't really do as much as maybe, say, another ranged support could. So I don't know, it's really almost a catch-22 where it feels like maybe it's part of the reason why these heroes are so much the rage. But this time around, it's going to be the Lion taken by the first side for Execration, followed up by the Earth Spirit and the Witch Doctor. I mean, early roaming from the Earth Spirit and then just super strong lane support from the Witch Doctor. With that Maledict being able to get skilled up early, as we saw in the last game, it does feel like he's going to be able to zone out pretty much any offlaner that he comes up against.
Gyrocopter!
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, no, and I think that, you know, the sort of, we were talking about in yesterday's cast as well, the idea that you realize when you pick a hero like Gyrocopter that you're going to be running into those stacks, and then maybe that means that TNC are going to try and translate their draft into the heroes that can come and contest that. I think I saw an Undying for the first time in like forever, where it was, you know, going to be able to roam on in there, drop down a tombstone, and potentially be able to contest for when the Gyrocopter does want to go for that. Or, you know, maybe they just take another hero. And I think it really doesn't even necessarily have to be another hero that can take the stack themselves, but maybe just another hero that can fight well around that early, which is the other option. Then you get kills on the Gyrocopter as he tries to take it himself. But certainly a lot of options and things that they're going to be thinking about. For now, at least, Execration ban out the Brood, and as well as the Bounty Hunter for TNC, and then the Faceless Void. So not going to be seeing any Chronos this time around. Where do you feel like TNC's best ability is to try and contest the Gyrocopter there? Is it to try and get somebody to take it instead, or do you think Gyrocopter ends up not even really going for the stacks a ton?
Reserve time.
Right.
Dire team pick.
Sven stands ready.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, you called it here, the Sven being the answer that they wanted to go for. I feel like the hero, he's just gone through so many changes. Like, he's been this stable force within the patch because of what he does in terms of that damage in the mid game. Like, I feel like the patch before this, he was sort of on the verge of becoming really good, and people were concerned because he didn't end up like really coming online super quickly. You needed a couple of items for him, and that was really the story of the previous patch, was he just won the first team fight, and whoever won the team fight won the game pretty much from there. But now it's a little bit more of a dynamic patch, and interestingly enough, going to double down on the team fight here. Execration are going to go for the Tide Hunter, and I feel like the best way that this hero can be used sometimes is just to secure objectives, whether they're, you know, a tier 1 tower or a Roshan, the threat of the Ravage as opposed to the actual Ravage itself.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Outworld Devourer.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining.
Invoker.
Dire team ban.
Yeah.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the real question right there. And sometimes you would end up seeing something like a puck instead, but considering they've already got all of this, you know, massive team fight control and a decent chunk of damage, it's maybe good to be able to go back for This year here, the Invoker. The one thing that I really like about the combo that you see is you've got the Invoker to be able to boost up the Gyrocopter's damage in the mid game, and that's something that I feel like tends to fall off sometimes for Gyros. Is you end up getting like you're sort of forced into going for the BKB, obviously not first, but maybe you go Helm of the Dominator into Sange and Yasha and then a BKB. But those are going to tend to be like the 3 items that you play around, and then you tend to afterwards go for an MKB. But by the time the MKB is online, you really need a little bit more than that, and it always feels like you're like kind of one step behind until you eventually get like the ridiculous damage. But Invoker kind of solves that problem if you're able to get, you know, a max Exort Alacrity off onto him. Yeah, jeez.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
BC Center, yeah. I mean, they could go sort of like off the wall and, you know, go for something crazy like an Elder Titan or something like that. If they pick that by right now, that would be the best call I've ever made in my entire life, and I'm just going to retire as a caster. So I hope they don't pick it now. But yeah, Beastmaster definitely feels to be the one that would synergize the best, and there it goes. It's, you know, it's just kind of one of those tier 1 heroes that's left over in the offlane pool who gives you the control you need in the inner beast aura. I like it. It fits. What about for Execration? Support? I'm gonna let you try it. So they have control. They've got a decent chunk of damage lane support that probably can either roam or deal with a Earth Spirit. Maybe a Tusk or a Bane? One of those two possibly?
Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh. Oh man, I like that though. Yeah, well, it's something that, you know, we've seen that combo get first 2 picked by some teams, and it really harkens back to the idea that it's so much about your individual sort of the individual decisions as opposed to necessarily like, you know, one hero that's better than all the others. It's how you want to run it, your team as a whole, and it kind of works no matter what.
Perfect location.
Ooh. Yeah, I will say we've gotten a little bit of lag going on right now. We'll try and do our best to make it work. It looks like it's about 20 or so frames per second. But never fear, Dota 2 is still going to happen, and we'll be commentating it for you guys. It's a struggle. I'm not going to lie about it. T here is going to be playing the TNC. He's on the OD. We've got AU on the Earth Spirit, as well as Small Sun G, who's going to be playing that Witch Doctor. Raven is going to be the Sven, and last but not least, Sam on that Beastmaster. A little bit of action here to start off. Nando in a little bit of trouble. They end up being able to get that 8% slow off. Are going to throw out the right clicks. The catch is going to be there, and first blood going the way of the Earth Spirit. Could Ice Frog have made it go any other way? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too bad. He also ended up being immediately dewarded. They saw him as they placed down those early awards by the Earth Spirit, and going to get chased on down a little bit. They do have the stuns, the body blocks. He's just going to die. And this is what I was worried about for Execration. By going for that, very last pick Enigma, it means that they're going to be able to scale and do a lot in the mid game. But we talked about the need for maybe another lane support to help them out, or allow some more space for the Tidehunter potentially. And he's paying for the fact that they don't have it. Mm. Does Kraken Shell remove that? I'm not sure if it does. It doesn't. Wow. Okay. Well, that really hurts then. I mean, obviously the damage threshold is still 600, so Tidehunter wouldn't even care about it at this point. But yeah, it's a struggle. So looking like they could be in a little bit of trouble. They spot him out now. Going to be able to get the Orb of Venom damage coming out, and the Witch Doctor is not in the area, so not going to be able to find the kill. They kick him back. Oh, the plays. They're going to be able to get the slow off as well. Everything going their direction. Maledict as well. And that's going to be another dead Tidehunter. Oh, man. 0-3 start. All of the lanes going pretty freaking well. The lone bright spot that you could say is that it's Enigma still farming up, but he's going to need to do so much for his team for them to not get rolled. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Is there something that he could be trying to buy that he wouldn't have enough gold for right now? That's the only other thing that I could think about potentially, since he's been able to build up 630 gold right now. So maybe if he was building towards an item and he wanted to be able to ensure that he could get, I guess, arcane boots? Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, they bought a dust. He bought a dust. Oh, gonna be able to kill onto the lion. The Beastmaster goes down, but as you mentioned, the Invoke is down for another 10 seconds. He has no freaking mana at all. Nighttime just falls. They got the Astral if they want to go for it, not using it as of yet, and the Invoker might have caught a glimpse of him for a second, but still playing pretty far forward. They haven't spotted him back again, and with the Haste up top, it does feel a little bit weird that they didn't end up going for this now. He ends up using Invoke again. Has the Alacrity and the Forged Spirits, but no Cold Snap, and still not going? Now he's backing out. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know. I would have liked to see something go from TNC. They get the stun, not going to connect. And I don't know why they didn't just try to go for the Astral. Oh. BYB. The whole time, though, they end up being able to rotate up top, and it's a free kill. I mean, every single time they end up being able to get it with the Maledict, and, you know, the Haste Rune was enough to make sure that they were able to do it. And actually, the Earth Spirit ended up going back for the bottle, interestingly, so still planning on roaming a lot. I kind of like that. It's not something that I would have expected, but it's kind of another answer. Bottom lane, are they going to be able to kill off Sam here? The rotation on Infinite Enigma, Black Hole's available, and they're going to commit it. 5.5 minutes, and this Enigma's level 6. That is a problem.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Double damage. I was meant to have this.
Yeah. Well, I guess they didn't find a kill, which would have been the real way to sort of put the nail in the coffin there, and unfortunately it doesn't work out. I kind of like what you were saying there, the idea as well of being able to play more aggressive in the other lanes, but you know, it's only a waste of the black hole, I guess, if they actually do play more aggressive in the other lanes, which you haven't really seen. Like, you've got Raven over here who's, you know, going to be able to take off the camps, but now BYB is level 5 all of a sudden, and, you know, they're sitting off to the side trying to see if they can make something happen with the Earth Spirit and the Beastmaster again, but Beastmaster doesn't have level 6, so I guess maybe they're going to wait for the dive that's going to come and try and turn this back around. 3 heroes are in the area. The TPs are going to start to come. They end up being able to get the stun onto Nando as well. It's a slow. The turn back around. God's Strength's been popped. The Earth Spike is there as well. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Gets the silence, and the right click is going to get the kill. Sven takes him, and that's a pretty good rotation. There it is. Nice. They're still going to end up finding him. That's the problem. Like, he doesn't have that black hole, and they can play so aggressive. Now Limik is going to go down as well. No mana, no problem, though. They're going to be able to do a ton of damage to Raven. The Eidolons are making it work. Going to be able to not dodge the Sunstrike. They find the kill, and looking for the Witch Doctor as well. He's going to go down. 2 dead, as the dive was just ever so slightly too far. They were not prepared for that, and I mean, I guess you could say the whole time the OD is able to get a good amount of farm, but so is Abed in the mid lane on the Invoker.
Haste. Here we go.
I haven't seen it very often at all. Right.
Radiant's top tower is under
Okay.
attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that they do have, I guess, is like the stuff that comes out from the Earth Spirit. You know, you've got the Magnetize that's going to be online fairly shortly, as well as like, you know, the Maledict damage, I guess, although that's only 1 point. It's definitely going to catch them off guard. That's for sure. They're throwing out the cast now onto RR. The bounce is going to be there for the Invoker as well, but I don't think they're going to be able to find this kill. Oh man, Winter G small stun. He might go down. The Ravage was available, but he's just going to walk away for the moment. And again, holding on to that spell, making sure they're not going to end up wasting it. Pretty good control there shown by BYB.
is under attack.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the other thing that I continue to think about, oh god, Tiki gonna drop down, maybe they end up being able to get the silence off onto BYB, but Ravage gonna be popped and he's gonna fall. Oh, they only caught one, but it was a pretty good one to catch, and Tier 1 tower is gonna fall in the mid lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Oh no.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not the best. This is not the play. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. Worth noting also that BYB scouts out the big old stack in the area. He is close to being able to steal that one himself as the level 4 anchor smashes up. So they're going to realize this is going on. As soon as the Sven comes over to try and take this, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. It doesn't look like that stack is going to quite work either. The centaur ended up drawing aggro, but regardless, grouping up for a smoke now. That did get scouted, I think, maybe? Raven's going to try and take this quickly, so a little bit odd, but now that he pops the smoke, they might realize that was going on, and they're pinging out in the mid lane. But they're not spotting this out. Lemic is going to be the one that ends up getting caught, it looks like. Also, Gyrocopter in the area. Beastmaster's available with the Roar if they want to use it. Turns back around with the call down. Can they burst him in time? It does look like he's going to go down, but it might end up... No, never mind. They get the Astral off. Oh, really good play right there. Going to be able to keep his buddy alive, and Nando is going to drop instead. Man, that was such a clutch play right there.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, yeah.
Dire's top tower is fallen. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, and they actually still have the black hole up on RR as well, so they're going to come and try and deal with this, but they still have a lot of damage that's coming out from the OD. Are they going to be able to come and contest in time? Even if they actually manage to kill off Roshan, like, the black hole setup that's going to be here is going to be absolutely tremendous. They have Ravage up as well. They end up being able to kill the Earth Sphere right from the start. There's the Ravage turnaround. Oh, God, Raven's going to end up dying. It looks like Teehee might go down as well. Do they have enough to bring him down a second time? They're going to be able to black hole right from the start if they want to use it, and I think that they're flirting with the idea of greatness. Can they go for it? The buyback by everybody. They're all in the area. There's going to be the Witchshocked ultimate, maybe for a turnaround, but they don't end up getting enough of a stun off on them. The self-astral doesn't end up mattering. Invoker doesn't miss the Sunstrike that time, and it looks like after losing the Aegis, they're going to be able to lose both of their 2 cores as well. That is, oh man, goes to show you can't fight against those 2 ultimates. They didn't even commit black hole. Yeah. Well, and I think that, granted, they did lose they were able to get the last hit onto Roche, so a little bit of extra gold going their direction, and maybe now they're going to be able to make something happen. But the big thing about that was that they held on to the black hole the whole time. So even though Ravage is down, like, that other huge spell is available, and they could TP into it. They end up getting the stun off onto BYB. Astral is down as well, so this should be a kill onto the Tidehunter, and it looks like they're not going to try and go for much more. Nando, meanwhile, in the midst of it, they're going to be able to throw out the roar, silenced up onto both of them. There's the Seize Eclipse. Abed has to jump away, and he was able to escape, but the Enigma was not in the area, so they lose two of their own. A nice little turnaround there for TNC, who, as you said, needed to get something out of that cooldown.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. Ooh, off to the side, that Finger of Death, it just destroys. You know, I will say, I've seen actually the Veil on OD as the first item more than a few times. And I wonder, like, I've been looking at it, trying to figure out exactly what it is. It does look like you end up getting, you know, the 18 extra intelligence, you get 6 HP regen. It did feel like maybe people had a little bit lower mana than they would normally. I wonder if there's some bug where it ends up, like, increasing the mana reduction that you get. I feel like that would be ridiculously OP and a huge oversight, but that's the only other thing I could maybe think about, because it does seem so strange.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to be doing a lot of damage, maybe in some trouble. They have been able to catch on to two of them. Really good silence off, but they get the mechanism. Maybe going to be able to turn this one back around, and at least for the moment, they're going to be good. And Magnetize is up. BYB, the Ravage is available, and they don't want to end up committing too many into it. Necronomicon's chasing. Can they kill them off in time? It does look like they're going to be able to do it, and no Ravage committed for that one. Again, sorry, guys, so much about the issues with the lag. Yet again, the connection from Oregon is just, it is hurting right here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Okay.
middle tower is under attack.
Well, and you can see now they're in a pretty good position to fight this. They are going to be able to go forward. There's going to be the Meteor dropped on down, self-astral, fine for the moment, and they're going to have to call this off. Witch Doctor ultimate, oh, that was a little bit questionable. Leemic is still going to get chased down, but it looks like they might just have to sacrifice only him. They actually popped Magnetize for that too. That's only a Lion. So Witch Doctor ultimate and Magnetize down with Ravage still up and Black Hole. I don't know if they should really chase this. Like, if they just start a fight right now, BYB is about to be unstunned in a second. They do have the huge turnaround potential if they wanted to go for it. Veil popped. BYB still chasing, down really low on Hibber's mana, the 40%, but they aren't going to be able to quite catch with the Sunstrike, but they do get the kill with the right click from the Invoker. And for the moment, at least, I don't know about TNC chasing. Is this the right idea? Yeah. He was up there for a while. It looked like what ended up happening was he just sort of continued to pressure it down, and he did end up being able to get the kill on it, as you can see in the little log. Oh no, though, Raven, you're going to end up dying here. They end up being able to hem him in from two sides. There's the Malefice out, turned into a frog and roared everything, committed, not roar, excuse me, the gush. That was what I was looking at. Might be the particle effects there definitely looked like a roar, I promise. Absolutely. The roar from your mouth with a lot of water coming out of it. That's what it is. Well, 11 to 14, as I'm sure everybody loved to hear that in their ear holes. It's going to be a pretty decent net worth lead for Execration, about 1,000 or so, with a relatively even experience earned. It's a very close game, much closer than it was in the previous one, where it's just a 12k net worth lead throughout the whole course of it. But they're going to be pressuring mid lane again. Tier 3 tower is going down quickly. Nando is up in front, and he does have his BKB available. 10 seconds up if he wants to go for it, and keeping cool, calm, and collected for the moment. It's just so scary into these two ultimates. God, and there it is, everything thrown out. He just ends up exploding. No more OD. Now they're looking after this Earth Spirit again. He's trying to get away, but the secondary blast coming in from that cooldown is going to be able to finish him off. They pop the Alacrity onto the gyrocopter, so he can do a couple things if he wants to turn back around. Doesn't have his flat cannon for another 8 seconds, but regardless, the barracks are starting to go down, and looking like they might try and still fight this. They need to wait for the OD before they can really take another fight, but there's another Earth Spike going forward. They're able to catch several there. Sven is starting to do a ton of damage, and everybody's dropping low from the Radiant. Can they finish them off? It does look like they're going to be able to chase them all down. Stunned up, Nando dies to the last little Earth Spike going through the 2,000 range one from the Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, the chase continues for BYB. They're going to be able to find that kill, and 4 are suddenly dead. Invoker's trying to run away, but they paid a big old cost for that tier 3 tower. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh. I will say real quickly that this did just get scouted out right here, this big smoke play. As you can see, the Hawk just about to expire, 1 second, and he's gone, but they spotted out the smoke with it. So really unfortunate right there for Execration. They needed this huge play to be able to try and make something happen, and all of the side of TNC are just, you know, keeping themselves pretty good for the moment. But Teehee ready to pop that BKB if it does end up coming to that. But still, they're able to get some wards up, and that was something they really needed. Like, they had no vision, and while you do talk about, you know, the Lion being able to blink in and catch somebody, you need to be able to see him if that's really going to happen. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here from TNC. Again, the Beastmaster in the late stages, like that Hawk becomes so valuable. Yeah. Well, and as you mentioned, he is building towards that already with the mechanism online as well as the blink dagger. It feels like BKB is the next logical step. Could have gone back for Greaves, but for the moment at least, he's going to keep his options open. Already committing for that ogre club. As far as other big items that could be coming up soon, I mean, we've got Sanj on board for the gyrocopter. We talked about the alacrity effect. Do you think that he wants to go for MKB afterwards, Mr. Gyro? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, they're going to need to make sure that it's pretty perfect. They don't want to have to blow any of these spells because, you know, if one of them happens to go down, you accidentally press that R key, and all of a sudden you're in a situation where you don't have any way to keep them out of your base. Aegis reclaimed in 2 minutes, but OD maybe going to feel comfortable going forward. Raven needs to be careful. Well, he's pretty tanky. He doesn't have the ability to just get up front and center. The BKB and the Blink are actually going to go right in onto this gyrocopter. Just going to completely destroy him. Oh my goodness, everything committed, and Eidolons are going to go down, as is the tier 3 tower. Raven saw the opportunity and he jumped. My goodness. Oh, Teehee maybe going to get chased down as well. Maleficus is still there. They get off the Astral. Stun is not quite going to hit, but the Necronomicons are up front and center, going to be able to right-click King R. He's actually going to go down as well, and he ended up being able to finish him off. The Cold Snap is down there on the TD, but they didn't catch him with the Meteor. They are going to be able to burn through the Aegis the first time, but Ravage is already down now as well. It looks like Raven's going to be able to chase on down BYB. All of the ultimates are offline. They have to have a buyback by the Enigma, but he doesn't have it at this stage, and everybody's just dying. Invoker's back up. He had to buy back, but there's no more damage outside of that. Lion is here as well, but they're going to take the racks and then just escape away, dodging the Sunstrike for good measure as well. Everything going the way of TNC and Execration are just in shatters.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Heads up!
I was meant to have this. Haste. There's only one.
Yeah.
Go for me.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, you look at Beastmaster right now, he's got 3,500 in the bank. Like, they're all so freaking rich right now, and they haven't yet committed to the next set of items. So, well, I think that buyback is worth it, particularly since they only have one tier 2 tower of their own left. It's also worth it to try and secure that you win the next team fight so you don't have to use the buyback. It does look like now the tier 3 tower is going to start to be under pressure. They have the courier coming back from the side of the Radiant. That's going to be bringing a plate mail over to a bed. But for the moment at least, they are going to just back on out. Sam, Necronomicon's going to go down. Man, this is tough. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's kind of suffering from the problem that we talked about before, where unless you have a Alacrity flat cannon, you really don't have the damage coming out from the gyrocopter to be able to kill them. Like again, you need to cast the Midnight Pulse, which means maybe your black hole is less effective, and it's just all of the problems are compounding upon themselves now, and the lack of damage that they're having, like everything needs to go right in one way or the other, and it's just it hasn't been throughout the last couple of team fights. And as you can see, it's built into a 12k net worth lead with roughly 12,000 experience lead, and the big old items are going to start to come, and I don't really know if Execration are going to have what it takes to burn through it. They need to be absolutely perfect from here on out, because otherwise they're going to lose another set of barracks, and at this point in time also get knocked out of this huge event, ESL One Manila. Everywhere. Worth noting, Witch Doctor has his Aghanim Scepter up, so they're in a pretty freaking great spot. Oh god, and an Invis rune on Sven. What more could you want? I mean, I guess a DD would have been pretty good, but this is pretty decent itself. It does look like AC is going to be completed for him. We've got the Necro Book and the Blink Dagger up on Beastmaster. Already had the Veil on the OD, so no need to go back for that. He goes Veil into BKB into Moonshard, because that's the way that he plays Dota 2. And then you're playing an OD, I guess you can do whatever you want, though. Yeah. Alright, well, there's going to be the BKB initiation. DD dropping low. They end up being able to get the roar. Everything is thrown on out there. Nando is dropping fairly low. The Ravage went, but it actually didn't end up doing a whole heck of a lot because the BKB on the Sven. So they're fine for the moment. They did lose the OD, though, so calling it good for the moment. Moonshard didn't help him too much right there. There's going to be the counter initiation. Jump forward. RR. Everybody's going down now. They do have the black hole available. Actually, no, excuse me. He already went down. Oh, God. It's all going wrong. They get the stun off. Dominating streak for Raven. Oh, man. Everybody's dead. You've got now a black hole available, but what are you going to do? You're going to call down on top of it with, like, the flat cannon damage? It's just tickling them at this stage. There's the first step forward. Everything committed by AU. He does end up getting caught by the Malefice, but it still doesn't end up mattering. That's the tier 3 barracks. Like, we've seen one black hole this game, right? And it was on the solo Beastmaster. I don't know. They jump forward again. Nando, he's going to end up getting right-click to... Sven is actually not hitting that hard without the God Strength, so they do need to be a little bit careful here. Again, our Spirit maybe overstepping his bounds ever so slightly. Oh, God, and now Nando! Oh, no, and they can't actually kill off the Earth Spirit either. There's going to be the jump. He has managed to blink away from it, so pretty nicely done there. No Stormhammer damage going his direction. AU dropping low. Stuns are still there, but they have all of the heals. Everything is going their direction, and they walk away with the barracks taken, and maybe a little bit of pride off of Execution's side as well.
Quicker than I look.
Roshan has fallen to the die.
Immortality.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's where they took the fight. It was just incredibly well thought out by TNC. They've got that, game sense, the ability to make the good decisions. And I will say, I kind of wonder at this point for RR if it might have been worth it instead of at a certain point in time just going for like an Aether Lens even, as opposed to maybe the Blink Dagger. I don't know. I'm not sure if it necessarily would have made the biggest difference in the world, but I'm not seeing those Blink black holes. And maybe if he can cast them from slightly further away, it makes a little bit of a better difference. I don't know. But clearly positioning has been a problem for him. Okay. Gonna be able to catch on to him. He does go down. BYB is there as well. Have they caught on to Teehee? What is going on right now? They're actually just all going to end up dying. The Aegis is down now. Nano pops BKB. AU is going to die. Everybody is dead, but Suspense come back in now and going to be able to start to rip through a bed. He does go down. So despite the ice wall, despite the slight feed train that we had there, it looks like they were able to take a kill in return. That was still really odd, and Raven is still in a bad spot. No BKB is available. The buyback, though, Teehee is available again. They end up jumping forward. Black Hole finally committed, but instantly disabled. Oh, no, it wasn't meant to be. Meanwhile, Abed is back up again. This could be a dieback if he does end up going down, but they don't have enough to chase him. Misses with the Deafening Blast slightly. It does look like that's going to be a kill on the OD, so that actually was a dieback for him. No, wait, he just respawned. What am I talking about? That's what it was. Thank you. G Small Sun is gonna die. That's why you're the analyst, man. You're doing it. I appreciate it. Yeah.
What have we here?
Yeah. Yeah.
I click faster now.
Yeah, you don't have your own positioning tools. It is 26 seconds, and it looks like it does look like TNC realized this, and they're actually playing super aggressive. They're in their base, smoked, dropping down wards, trying to scout them out. It looks like Execration realizes it's happening, has to blink back into his own fountain, but they've counter-initiated. Nice force staff there by the Earth Spirit. But they're still inside their base, and so with no BKB popped yet for Raven, they're going to be able to have that available. Nando gets jumped on now, roared up for the moment, going to turn back around, start to bear through him. That's Lemic dropping fairly low. He doesn't end up dying yet, so still keeping themselves alive, but Nando ends up going down. Witch Doctor Ultimate again, just for style points. Meanwhile, Earth Spirit is actually running into their fountain. He is going to die, but space created is that's actually going to give him enough time to take down the melee barracks. Oh, still alive for the moment. Ravage doing a lot as well. Can they kill him off? It does look like they've been able to take down the Earth Spirit already, but that's the only one because already their Invoker and the Gyrocopter is dead. This could be pretty freaking close to good game as they end up having to spend jump forward again, catch on to this Enigma. He's dropping pretty low. You've got the Witch Doctor right-clicking the Lion, but GG well played ends up getting called, and TNC are going to be making an appearance in the Grand Finals tomorrow, a best-of-5 series against the winner of the next game. Mr. Ryu, what did you think of this one? It felt like it was a very different game than we were expecting.